Hello and welcome back to my GTNH playthrough. It is July 24th, Friday, July 24th, and we are over here back at the Bose-Einstein Multi block just for a few minutes. Just wanted to show what I changed between yesterday and today because I did make basically a slight change. So the way I had it set up yesterday, I was noticing the first item I would put in here on big crafts would still fail, for lack of a better term, which would just cascade into more issues. And that is mainly because this thing would start crafting before it registered condensate. Now, yesterday, I was using the condensate detector hatch to send a signal to this one to turn on. It just still, I think just with the amount of nanites I have in here, it's just too fast. So all I did really was I changed, so this setup's still the same. We got the condensate hatch, doesn't emit a signal when it's above the limit, because somebody on the dev team apparently likes inverted. I got it on a not gate because I like on it. Red signal on equals on. So then I just have it coming down here, and it comes to a repeater, which delays the signal, kind of counterintuitive to its name. And then it, so like in this case, I set it to 64 ticks. It might be able to go a little slower. Obviously, this makes it have to wait 5 seconds, but I figured just for testing, I threw it at 64, see what happened. And that seems to have solved the issue so far. And then this signal transmits to the one that's over here on the control. Now, I did mess around with the teleportation array control hatch, but I don't know. It's also inverted for one, which is kind of annoying for, like, you basically give it a red signal, tell it when to turn on. I don't know. Didn't seem quite intuitive. Maybe I'm missing something. A simple machine controller with the redstone wire seems to work just fine. The other change I made was I did set this to blocking mode, or at least smart blocking mode, and added a advanced stocking input hatch over here instead of the hatch, or just input, not hatch, bus, excuse me. Advanced stocking input bus instead of the input bus I had before, and just have it here pulling items in. And this is just better. I mean, you can see 9,000 screws, so like even the biggest super bus, which is now depreciated, would still be struggling with that and keeping all this moving smoothly. So just did it that way. Also, sorry with the random lag spikes. Well, I am a big fan of this guy over here. Whenever you're like in visual range of it, even if you can't see it, like it occasionally just makes like it skip a few frames for whatever reason. Speaking of this thing, I still, unless something changed in the last half hour, don't have enough gravitational shards to do the this upgrade here. Yeah, I only have 2 still. It'll be real nice when I get to this, because I was looking around. So I made a joke the other day. Seemingly calcium has become the most important dust I have, and it's just a pain in the butt every time I go to craft something, because it argues with me about how much calcium's in the system. Once I get 2 more gravitational shards, which I'll get from any one of those milestones tricking are getting counted, I can use this multi-step plasma, and then I'll be able to convert neon to neon plasma directly, and we'll have basically unlimited neon from the space elevator, so won't need to worry about calcium anymore, and that should be a huge alleviation on a bunch of recipes. So I just need this to unlock right here, and I'll be all good. Also, I noticed there's a category of exotic fusions, so I'm not really sure what that one is. I haven't looked in to see what upgrade is, or if I already have it or whatnot, but I did move a few more recipes over here. The main one I moved over actually was atomic separation. I forgot that I had left that on like an old ZPM pyrolyze oven, so that's a huge speed upgrade, and kind of funny I forgot to figure that one out, but I didn't really do much today besides add a couple of recipes and move some things around over here. But yeah, so the few things I did today, a lot of it is going to be hatch upgrades, and I'm not just going to go through everything I threw new hatches on with Basically, one exception was this guy. I did upgrade this synchrotron to be wireless UMV hatches, which makes this part of it so fast that when it's running, it can't even like register that it's doing more recipes. It like the things glitches out. We might actually be able to see it. Yeah, it just kind of is broken like this. Like it's still working. It just can't. It's too fast for it to keep up. So that was a bottleneck. So I just added that there. And I am crafting more UMV hatches to replace out the rest of these and make these about as fast as I can make them go for the moment. The next thing I did, so last night I had mentioned crafting a new set of Dyson swarms for getting my power back to the positive. You can see to the left, I'm back up to 50 quintillion energy. So we are going back up. There were basically two parts I needed to do that. One, set up a bunch of quantum computers, utilizing the new cloud hatches that I set up the other day, but hadn't actually put to use yet. Now, I do kind of like how this building turned out. It's real simple, but I was going for like a kind of like a real like industrial what's it called? Data center vibe. It's just like a block sucking up all the water. But I think one of the things that I will do is I don't like how this is like too open. It's nice and cozy. I kind of want to make it a little more cramped, so I might squeeze these together to only be the one block apart that they need to be, and then move this over one, and we'll see. It should it should turn out pretty nicely. I don't know how many of these I'll ultimately need for endgame, because I am working towards another power besides Dyson swarms, but for all intents and purposes, I need 6 of these per set of 8 Dyson swarms to keep up with the actually, not even. You know what? I only need 3. I keep forgetting that the one in the middle that takes the computation is the one that wall shares among them. So I can actually do a full another set of Dyson swarms without having to mess with this over here and have computation to spare. But yeah, I do put this is the general first layout, and then I will compress it a little more. Plus, there's room for a second layer, and then I don't think I'm gonna do a second floor if God forbid, I end up needing more space than this. I'll probably do a tunnel down and do a floor below this. So I kind of like the way the outside of this building looks. And then, yeah, I just left this area for if I ever need to launch a rocket again. But if we head over to Horus real quick, we can see the second set of Dyson swarms I set up. Now, I didn't just copy paste this guy because you can see I kind of piecewise this one together. The conduit's kind of all messy, etc., etc. And now with having the cloud computation, you don't need a lot of the stuff I should say a lot. You don't need some of the stuff that's set up on there. So I just quote unquote hand built this one, obviously using like schematics and stuff. But the main difference is this cloud computational hatch. You just come in here, set it to 100,000, and you're good to go. And before I did this, the part of the cleaning up hatches and chasing bottlenecks was getting it so I could craft a lot more swarms faster. So for example, I have the threshold set to 100,000 now, so I have a lot more of a leeway, but the swarms themselves should be a lot faster. Basically, every block that touched pieces of this that I could speed up, I did today to make these craft a lot faster. In fact, like in the last couple hours, or earlier this morning, I should say, really, I crafted 200,000 of these, one for the initial setup and then the other to get up to the threshold I wanted it to be at. And yeah, other than that, not too much to say. These are pretty straightforward. Just some input hatches on these guys, cloud hatch on these guys, and then a new Lapotron capacitor in the middle with all you need is one UHV capacitor, and that's more than enough to take care of all the power you can possibly bring into this thing at once. So yeah, this thing's good to go. It should be a power positive. I don't know. So the next thing I'm working towards, but not I don't know how far I'm off from it, because it is technically a UIV block. I didn't realize that is making the antimatter power source. Now, currently, I am crafting the semi-stable antimatter that I need to, one, be able to do the research for one of the components of the antimatter block. Matter? I keep typing I feel like there should be a hyphen there, but doesn't really matter. For the annihilation matrix, you need 600 of these antimatter annihilation matrix blocks, which all take 4 liters of semi-stable antimatter, and also takes 1,000 to research the block in the first place. So I have 3,600 crafting right now, which should cover all of that. But as you can see, this is 6 liters per 700 seconds. So if I do, after this, I'm going to cards. But if I come back and I feel like it, I might throw down another row of these guys. The only thing that I would need to craft now that I have UMV glass back and available, which thankfully I made this UMV glass prior to the updating the game, but so it'd be real easy to throw down another. Currently, it's going to take 15 hours for that recipe to complete with 7 of these going. I did unsync one of these proxy hatches just so that this thing wasn't completely locking up the system from like crafting other recipes. I guess I could have technically used color hatches, but I swear something's kind of going funky with the color hatches for me at the moment, or I don't know. It doesn't seem to be working as intended. Like some of the times it does, but just not. I don't know. There's definitely some weirdness going on with that right now for me personally. So I just left one not able to craft the semi-stable antimatter just to keep this guy afloat. But then, so that's one of the steps towards progress working on. The next thing I did, now that we have the Bose-Einstein complex, for lack of a better word, I don't know if there's a name for the full group of multi-blocks, array or complex or whatnot. I did go ahead and craft myself a couple of convergence things, trans-dimensional alignment matrices, to put these guys into convergence, which right now, this guy specifically is not getting any benefit because I'm crafting hydrogen for some reason. Why am I crafting hydrogen? Can't. I don't know why this is crafting hydrogen. Something must be calling for it that I'm not. Oh, you know what? I bet it's this. Right, I'm being silly. It's probably right here. 22 million hydrogen, which should progressively get faster as the day goes on. So this guy has the not a great fuel discount going because I ran out of. Well, here, let me explain. So I had to. Shamefully, I had to do my first rollback of the server in quite a long time today, and this resplendent catalyst, before the rollback, I had 2 point some odd billion, and then after the rollback, something seemed to happen where it just like glitched out and was gone, which is fine. Whenever I roll back, the other thing, I lost like 25 minutes of progress because it was about as close to a backup as it could have been without being one, and I'll show why I did the rollback here in a minute, but. So I'm fine with that from the standpoint of like rollbacks. I'm glad we can use them, but I do feel like you should like lose something for it. Like I feel a little better about it when like I've taken, in this case, I lost 25 minutes of progress while I was actually doing quite a bit, and I lost this resource which I had built up quite a bit of. So that was sad, but. What is nice about these, so it says you need to run it for 8 hours to get the maximum benefit. If, like in this case, this thing had been running for 8 hours already going into this, so it already had the 50% discount. It went from, for example, for Molten Infinity, it takes me about, it's showing hydrogen right now, but if you imagine, it's pretty similar, about 5-6 seconds, but it was for 27,000 of Infinity. When this guy was in here and it had the 50% discount going, like full, like convergence going, it was making 2 million liters of Infinity every 5 seconds. Like you can even see it from my, in here for the little bit I had it running before I messed up, got up to 1.2 billion liters of Infinity. So that's pretty sweet. Got that going. I did not put a convergence in this one because as far as I can tell, convergence doesn't work for when you're using residue as the as the catalyst. This guy obviously uses catalyst from these recipes back here, but this one's passively making space-time. And unless I haven't looked to see if there's a different recipe, but currently that one doesn't go. This one over here, however, I did set up for convergence with using hypogen. And the reason this one will get even faster as the day goes on and it's crafting more and more of this hypogen is because the other thing with the convergence I forgot to mention is you do have to set a catalyst tier. Currently, Infinity is made on tier 3, the resplendent catalyst. This guy is made on tier 4. I haven't wanted to swap the Infinity to tier 4 yet until I make more compact 5, so I just keep getting distracted. I really should just be crafting them constantly on the side because they're pretty fast, and I say pretty fast. They take like 4 hours to craft currently. They might even be faster now, but just to get it, I want to make it so exotic catalyst is just like basically as close to instant, and I'm not ever worried about running out of it with constantly draining it on Infinity over here. So instead, hypogen's a little slower, have it going, which this one's on exotic. Obviously, as it hits convergence, I'll probably use more, and we'll see how the system holds up with that. But this will get exponentially faster as this runs longer and longer, so that'll be cool. And this one didn't have any passive setup, so nothing to do with the server reset that this guy like lost its 50% fuel discount or something, because it's just been sitting off and just only doing on-demand craftings from the proxy hatches over there. So the reason I ended up having to reset the server or roll back was because I did a little bit of an oopsie. So I joked about calcium dust, but one of the other ones that constantly drives me nuts is fibrant alloy. And I was actually from my I can't remember if I had UEV or UIV down here. I think it was UEV hatches down there. I was out of space in this guy, and I want to add more vibrant alloy bees and eliminate that being a problem. So I decided just get her up to UMV, which is getting me... where is it? Wrong screen. Now I have space for 16,000 bees, minus what's, 15,000 after what's already in here. But so I upgraded all the glass and all that jazz to make me able to use the wireless hatch, the UMV energy hatches down here and all that stuff. But the mistake I made was, so this wasn't forming. I was like, and then I accidentally broke the controller, just in I shouldn't say accidentally. I purposely broke the controller, but not thinking about the fact that I was going to void all my inventory and just hundreds of hours of work into bees over here. So I killed that. I was like, oh, all my bees are gone. So I definitely rolled back to get all my bees back because I was not doing that all again. But reality is, if you are upgrading this from glass, it's going to yell at you and constantly not recognize the new glass in there. Just hit it with a schematic with the glass set to the right channel, and it'll fix it and form the multi-block back up. So that was why I ended up rolling black here. And finally, like I said, tons of just random stuff changed throughout here. I did notice just on super random stuff that isn't a big deal. This arc plasma furnace here, for example, I threw a UIV wireless hatch because I didn't have a UMV at the time, but I didn't realize this guy is now depreciated as well. I should have figured everything's depreciated, but I'll at some point have to make a new industrial arc furnace. But I did move my annealed copper recipe out of here and threw that over into the God Forge because I didn't realize there was a blast furnace recipe for annealed copper, or else I would have had that moved out of here a long time ago. So that was in itself was a little bottleneck. That's gone. Upgraded this guy so it can go a lot faster. And then the final thing leave you for the weekend, because I don't really know what I'm going to start working towards, probably antimatter / cleaning up what's it called? Why am I thinking of the name? Quests over here, cleaning up the quest book. One thing I did last weekend, and I keep forgetting to mention it all week, is I actually did get all the items for the first Stargate quest. All I have to do is hold these guys and start hitting the what's it called, detect button to have the quest book eat all this stuff up. But this is everything needed for the first of the Stargate quests, so that's pretty cool. The second one doesn't seem too bad either. Number 3 and number 4 will probably be a little while till I start working on those. And also, which may be just as time consuming as Stargate quest number 2, coincidentally enough, might be down here in the UIV. This is kind of, it was amusing. No, it was CBM. This thing right here, cream of avocado soup. You need a lime. I don't have any limes anywhere. I've never gotten one from a quest book or a loot drop, and I have not bred a lime tree or anything. So that was this one little thing to finish out the ZPM tier might actually take a little bit of time, depending on how lucky I get. Or there looks like there's a few different like luck-based ways to get it from villagers or quest books or whatever. But yeah. This thing is going to be a thing. But yeah, no, literally every time I finish uploading video, I keep going, damn it, forgot to talk about the fact that I got this done last weekend. So that's pretty cool. Number 1 down. Because I do, while waiting for the Stargate itself to finish near the end of the game, I do want to utilize the in time, and it's also kind of fun and casual to knock out all these quests here, just because obviously like these quests aren't hard anymore for most of them. Just clear it all out, get her done, and yeah. Anyways, gonna keep working on that. Well, right now I'm gonna go to cards, and then I think the main thing will be upgrade everything with the UMV component blocks that are crafting right now, and a few more hatches, and then we'll look at antimatter early next week, and then maybe even start working towards the Eye of Harmony, because I think, technically speaking, because I do have, I'm pretty sure, this is within graphs. There's probably something in here I'm not knowing, but since I have this guy set up, I'm pretty sure I can start working on crafting this big guy. So yeah, anyways, that's what to look forward to next week. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will see you Monday. Goodbye.